The fake conversations tire me. And that's why I want to bring you this space. Because we're going to have the realest, most honest conversations that are probably going to get me fucking cancelled. And I don't give a fuck. Cancel me. Care. I'm not here to appease the masses or anyone. Hello and welcome to the Nickel Diamond Podcast. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought I'd get here, to be honest with you. For anyone that knows me, I've been talking about doing this for years. And one of those things you keep kicking down the kick of the can down the road. Kick the can down the road. I'll fucking get to it. And now here we are, finally. Finally fucking doing that. Now, I'm going to let today's episode be a bit of an introduction of who I am, why this podcast is here, and what we're going to be chatting about, what the vision is for it. And you know what? Who knows what it's going to turn into anyway. I love chatting shit, and that's pretty much all this is. I was going to pigeonhole it about, like mental health and the work that I do and spiritual growth and personal development, self-development and all that. Even though it's a big part of my life, I'm multifaceted. So welcome to my weird, quirky, deep and funky fucking space of conversations where we're going to pretty much explore every aspect and corner of life. Because I am interested in everything. I want to have conversations about everything. And I have a lot of different interests. I am not like this is what I like and that's what I like. It's more like I know more of what I don't like because it's easier to single out. So welcome to this weird fucking space. So, I just want to speak a little bit about me, my journey, how I got here, who I am, where I've come from, and introduce you guys to my world if you haven't already found me on social media or if you don't know me personally. My name is Nico. I am of Greek background. My mum is born in Greece. My father's born here. So I'm like half second generation Greek and grew up in Adelaide, South Australia. Went to Greek Orthodox school. I'm a Greek Orthodox Christian. And that's all the boring shit that I'm going to really touch on. Essentially, how the fuck I got here. Probably 2018, I'd say, roughly. I decided to get some help. I just fucking hated myself, to be transparent. I hated myself. I didn't know where I was going. I was battling with addiction, drugs, alcohol, and felt very disconnected from myself. I didn't know who I was. I felt lost. But here's the interesting part. For about 5 years pre that, so say 2013, 14, I finished school, straight into work, working for the family business. And I kind of just had my mind in the right place. Like, going to build success, build wealth, work for the family business. I had a really beautiful girlfriend at the time who I fell in love with deeply, which is a big part of my journey. And I was with her from 2014 till 2023, roughly. And then had a few little spurts in the last couple of years as well. So it's been a long-winded relationship. Anyway, so yeah, I was pretty much just trying to navigate life. Like I was always angry, emotionally fucked up. But I was making money. Like I was doing the things a man's meant to do, I guess, in the way we've been conditioned to be. And I just had a lot of resentment toward my father and a lot of resentment toward myself and my life and the way things were and all of the just unmet experiences and emotions that I had been carrying for so much of my life up until 2018. I was like, I'll go do some breath work. I'm gonna just fucking get help. And it came up because there was someone that I know who I kind of looked up to at the time and he was talking about this experience that he had with breath work. And I was like, this is very fucking interesting. I was like, I'm just going to go do it, see what happens, see what comes up. I was binge eating. I had a big addiction with food, alcohol, porn, drugs. I was pretty much just an addict on everything. Sex, relationships. I needed women, needed attention, needed validation. I needed to be able to feel regulated through other people. So, patterns of addiction come up in many ways. When I did a breathwork session, and I've never I've always been an emotionally connected kid. I was at the time. I knew my emotions to some extent. I felt a lot. I was very sensitive. And I was always very deep, like hypervigilant. I could see things very clearly. I could see things very deeply. I had the knack to really understand people. And then I pretty much just fucking, but I never really cried. Like, I was just always angry. So this first breathwork session, I just fucking cried for like 45 minutes. Within a few minutes of doing some breath, I just bawled my eyes out. And it's because she said that I was innocent. So a lot of my experience was obviously shame. I just didn't feel like I was a good person. I felt like I was a horrible person. I wasn't worthy. My self-worth was non-existent. It was completely ruptured. I didn't like who I was. I was disgusted in myself, but I didn't consciously know this. But I was suppressing it with all of my behaviors, my patterns. And then, of course, relationships allow us to forget who we are too when we find ourselves in a relationship and find our purpose within a relationship and not within ourselves and our most, like, highest mission, our soul's mission, our, yeah. So, cried, had this experience. I had this massive release. I remember walking out. Her name is Julie Way. She's one of the best. She's who taught me as well. Walked out of the session and I was like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? Fully had this unconscious but conscious experience, and I let go of so much like shame and guilt that I didn't realize I had. And that was the beginning in like 2018, I think it was roughly. I was, in and out breath work, doing lots of breath work, trying to heal where I could. Now, mind you, I was still battling with all of my addiction at this point. Like, I wasn't in any means like on this really reparative type of journey at that point. I was just kind of dumping and trauma releasing, which is great, but it had no containment. And I pretty much was like working with a family business at the time, and I thought, fuck the family business. I want to go and do my own thing. I want to go make it out on my own. So I went and became a real estate agent in 2020. I also broke up with my partner in 2021, I think it was, or early 2020. I'm not sure. Mid 2020, sorry. So we had been together since 2014. So, that's 7-8 years or so. So we broke up. I started to find more of myself, breath work. Then I started, moving into men's community, men's groups, and was just, pretty much reading books, understanding psychology, understanding the shadow, Carl Jung, masculine and feminine energetics and dynamics. So I really started like diving into this stuff in 2020, 2021, but I was still trying to prove my worth to the world. I thought I'd get into real estate, make all this money, and I'll be someone, I'll be something. I will finally get to this fucking point of, I don't even know where I was going. But I had it. I had the things that I thought I needed and wanted. I bought myself a brand new Audi S3, 2021, I believe. I purchased a $1.2 million property with my brother. So yeah, 600 and something K each. So, I was doing all the things, and it was in a nice prestigious area. We're going to develop it. I had already done a development at this point in 2017 or 18, which fucking was a flop. So you get the point. I was out there trying to fucking make it. I was out there trying to be someone. I was out there trying to make sense of my life and my shame. I was trying to make sense of the fact that I felt absolutely shit about myself, trauma, childhood. But because I didn't have the means to acknowledge it and meet it and understand it, I was just proving myself to the world. So, real estate, 2021, car, fucking all that shit. Good money. Like, it was all kind of, I was the guy, in my own world, but I had the identity. I was upholding that identity of who I thought I needed to be to feel worthy enough in this world. I was on and off with my girlfriend at the time as well. And yeah, that was in itself toxic codependency. I couldn't find a way to be on my own. I was either sleeping with other girls pretty much on and off, or I'd be dating her and then repeating that for like 4 years. And that didn't end until like 2023. So I was pretty much in real estate that whole time up until the end of 2022, when I had done a bit of work on myself at this point. So I was a lot more self-aware than I was before. I had done a bit of healing. I was, heaps better. My breathwork therapist, facilitator, said to me that she was going to put on a breathwork facilitation training for about 12 months. and I should do it. And I was like, I'm a real estate agent. I don't fucking care. I don't need to. I'm making money. I'm good. It is what it is, you know? I'm not interested. And she basically said to me, I think you're going to regret it if you don't do it. And in my mind, I was like, fucking, what do you mean? She's like, trust me, I think you should do it just for you, to be good for you. FOMO being me, having FOMO, I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. So I took on this breathwork facilitation training. And over that 12 months, I found more of myself in ways that I didn't. Like, it was the most deepest transformational immersion. You know, we're going out to Strathalbyn and Balhanna in the Adelaide Hills for, 2 days at a time, every 1 weekend for every month. And it was like 2 full days of just like diving in to the complexities of breathwork and emotions, the nervous system, the body, a lot of spiritual, work, spiritual healing, energetic healing. I know these are all just fucking words, but, bioenergetics, if you want to get specific. Anyway, so I would dive into the complexities of it all. And there was a group of us, amazing people, which I love very much still till today. They're so beautiful. And about 8 months into this course, I was like, I'm going to quit real estate and I need to give this back. And this is what leads me to this point. So if you've listened up to now, I thank you and I appreciate you. The reason I'm here today is because of that moment that I decided that I was sick and tired of trying to fucking be someone I wasn't. I was tired of trying to perform and wear a mask. So maybe that my dad would love me eventually. Maybe my dad would approve of me. Still doesn't. Which, it's never going to happen, Like, the reason I'm here is because my father's father failed him and my father didn't know what to do, like didn't know any better than what he potentially knew for the benefit of the doubt, and wasn't able to show up for me as much as I needed. And this is the common story we all share, whether it's a mother or a father or whoever it might be. We have this experience where our needs aren't met as a child and we become ruptured. Our needs are the most important thing as a child, and when they're not met, we take that as though we're not good enough and we're not worthy and we don't deserve to have our needs met, which means we don't deserve the life that we desire from the most authentic place, because it's not what we're used to. So we go out and we perform in whichever way we think we need to, so we can maybe get those needs met, and we never do because we're doing them from a place of low self-worth and being completely wounded. So I quit real estate. I packed it up. I was like, that's it. I want to give this back, because I finally started to feel free. I finally started to feel like myself through this breathwork course. I had been doing a lot of other work on the side between men's work, men's communities, and, reading a lot of different books. I was really starting to understand myself. The Way of the Superior Man is one of the most life-changing books as a man. If you've never read a book, it'll be the easiest book you can read and will change your life in a way that you don't even understand. And it's so simple and easy to digest. So I highly recommend it. And that's what's led me here now, say 4 years later from then. Yeah, correct. Because my business has been registered for 3.5 years. So I pretty much quit and I went back to warehousing and transport and logistics. I was pretty much stacking boxes of beer and wine and soft drinks on pallets in a warehouse out in the northern suburbs from 2 p.m. till midnight to make ends meet. I had moved out. I was living with my ex-girlfriend at the time. I had my investment property, which was costing me a lot of money at the time. And I was trying to make it all happen. And I went from, a pretty decent income, which is also projected, mind you, when I quit real estate. The money that I was leaving was pretty crazy. I'm not going to get into that, but I still decided, fuck this, purpose and mission so much more important, because I could see where my life was going by just chasing money. And I see so many people now do it. They think they're happy. I feel bad for them because they think they're doing what they need to do to finally be approved of. By who? By what? And that could be a conversation for another day, and we will get into that. And I'll have my guests on and we'll have conversations like that, where I'm going to interview some very fucking interesting people that I have lined up. So pretty much packed it up, stacking shelves, and then I was getting up at like as early as possible to work on my breathwork business because I finally got certified in March 2023. I quit real estate at the end of 2022, and I was pretty much working at the airport. I was working in warehousing, stacking beers, like doing all sorts of stuff, and just working that kind of that warehouse shift work life to make ends meet. And I pretty much just started my business from there. And here I am today, which I wouldn't have thought. And I wouldn't have it any other way because I know what I needed. Like, I needed who I am today every step of the way over the last 6 to 7 years. 2018. Since then, I needed who I am now. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to become the man that I am today for the man that I needed then, because now I can do it for you guys. Because that's why I've done this. I know how important it is to be able to get the help you need, but not like help because you're fucked up and broken. Just so you can find your shit again. Because we think we know who we are, and we haven't even contemplated or reflected upon who the fuck we are. We don't even ask the question. We are just so conditioned to getting on with the world, meaning if I can buy a home, which no one can fucking do these days anyway, if I can buy a home, get married, have some kids, own a business, or do okay within my career, or just even for some, it's just like, can I have a job that pays me consistently so I don't have to worry about money at all, and I can just simply get by and save a little bit, or even just get by at the moment. It's like, oh, that's what life is, and I'll just, I guess, be a dad or a mum and have a child because that's what I'm meant to do. Like, there is so much more to you. There's so much fucking more to you. And it frustrates me, not because I'm like, you're stupid and I can't fucking believe it. It frustrates me because I can see it in everyone. I was able to see it in myself that I was more than what I was. All I had to do was be more me, as opposed to being something I'm fucking not. And this doesn't mean you need to go and quit your job, quit your life, and completely derail everything you've got to go and pursue, somatic psychotherapy or coaching, which is what I do, or men's work, whatever it is. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm doing this because I fucking love every bit of it, right? All of my life is pretty much me living my life, such as I'm literally a DJ and play the biggest festivals in Adelaide, as well as a men's coach and a somatic psychotherapist, right? But that's me, because that's genuinely me to my core. I love this shit. Now, I'm not saying you need to quit. It's more so, how are you showing up for your life? Are you actually enjoying what you do? Because how many of you listening to this right now have a life that they thought would finally make them feel good, and it's just not quite enough? Like, there's still this gap, and you're trying to bridge this gap. You're still trying to bridge it. And you're like, oh, what the fuck is this gap? Like, what is this moment? What is this thing that I need to close? And you can't quite understand it. But you've got everything, though. You've got it all. If you were to look at where you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I guarantee you've improved, especially if you listen to this podcast. If you're listening to this podcast and you're kind of stuck in a rut, your journey is about to begin. But everyone else, you're definitely moving along. And if you're moving along and life is fucking working to some extent, what's missing? Why are you searching for more? Like, what's left to look for if that's the case? What more? More what? Like you're rushing to where? You're trying to build what? At what point do you start feeling like you can enjoy it? At what point do you feel like you can be yourself? At what point does it feel freeing? At what point are you like, oh, life is good? Fuck, I'm thriving. I'm aligned. I feel like myself. I feel like this is sick. This is a cool ride. Like, life is a cool ride. When does that happen? Please. Because do you know when it happened for me? When everything got really bad and I fucking decided to pack up all the material shit. although I still enjoy material, I still love material. I'd love to buy a bike one day, another bike one day, and I more than likely will because I used to ride motorbikes. But I'm like, fuck, don't care if I have one or don't. I don't give a fuck what type of car I drive. I don't care how nice my watch is. Even though I like nice cars, I like nice watches, I like nice homes. I like it all. I'm not saying it's shit, and I'm not demonizing it. But I don't make it my God. I don't attach my self-worth to it. I don't attach who I am to it at all. Fuck that. Who gives a fuck? I don't take it with me. And I'm not going to get too spiritual about it, but it's not the thing. Because if it was, I would have been happy when I had my Audi and my Harley. And, you know, the well-paying career that was going to turn into a hyper six-figure business / career. Because real estate's kind of like you kind of have a business within a business. But anyway, like that was going to happen. I would have had 3 times the amount of money if I kept staying, or maybe 4 times the amount of money if I stayed what I was doing then, right? But I'm like starting to kick ass. Like life's starting to move in the direction that feels really fucking good. Even though it's been a hard 3.5 years building what I've built from nothing to this. I had to build it from the ground up, but that's because it was worth doing because it was me. I was being myself. I was allowing myself to express and create and live in purpose and live on mission and be better for my family and my girlfriends that I've had. I've dated one other person since my other relationship, my first relationship I mentioned before, who I also fell in love with, and God bless her as well. This is a bit of a tangent, but I'm very gifted and thankful to have fallen in love twice with 2 exceptionally beautiful women in and out. So I was able to show up for them way better than I was before. I was able to show up for them way better than most can. And that's not to say that I'm better than people. It's just I've done the things that other people don't want to do. And that's not because I'm special. I was just willing to do some uncomfortable shit. And I'm here to inspire you to do the same thing. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm not this kid that grew up with like a gold spoon of confidence in his mouth. I fucking hated myself. I always came second. I never felt like the winner. And I was like, I'm a fucking loser and I'm never going to get anywhere in my life. Plus I had people telling me that as well. From school to friends to family, certain family members. I was always going to be the cunt that never got there. I was always, the person that just, I was a rat bag. I was being told I was going to end up in jail at some point in my life because I was so aggressive. Not fucking true. But I was going down a dark path for a minute. It was getting pretty bad. I was hanging around some really heavy people. I was doing a lot of drugs. I was drinking a lot of alcohol. I was having sex with a lot of women. I was doing a lot of dark shit until I realized that it was time for me to look at myself. Now, that doesn't mean that has to be your journey. And just because my extreme required me to look within doesn't mean you shouldn't look within because it's not that extreme. If you're simply chasing something in your life and you never seem to get there, that's enough. That's more than enough for you to start looking within yourself and ask, like, what am I looking for? Because there are people I know personally that I watch and I'm like, what are you searching for, my bro? What the fuck are you searching for? Like, where does this go? Like, what do we want here? Where are we going? Anyway, I've said the same thing, but yeah. So this is my journey, and I've just come to this point of like, I'm just authentically myself all the time, and I'm fucking so grateful for my life. And I want to create a platform, this space, this podcast, for you to get to know a little bit of my fucking weird world of everything that I enjoy, from music to politics to social dynamics to trying to understand the intricacies of people and cultures and societies and religion. And we'll talk about pretty much fucking everything. I'll have my priest on here. I'll have potentially a lawyer to chat about life on here. We'll talk about the music scene. I'll have some DJs on here. I'll get some of my clients so they can tell you their story. Potentially some family members. I don't even fucking know. I've got a bunch of people floating around. Heaps of business owners that I know. We can get an understanding of business and their type of business and what they do. And I'm just so multifaceted that I figured, fucking, this is the Nickel Diamond podcast where we're pretty much just gonna, I'm just gonna bring you into my world of weirdness, fun, depth, truth, you know? The fucking real conversations that we're all missing. Everyone's out there wearing this perfect little mask, pretending to fucking be something they're not. And I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired. I can't be fucked. I can't be fucked with it anymore. Is it not draining the absolute fuck out of you? Having these fake ass, when you're like, you're talking to someone and you just know the conversation's so not it. How are you? Oh, fucking, bro, like things are killer and, life is good and nothing's being said. Or then there's like the real happy ones. Oh my God, hi. Yeah, it's so good. Like, shut up, cunt. It's never that good. I mean, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. It is that good, but when they're always that good, come on, bro. No one's that fucking good all the time. Let's be real, Or the one that's just like always killing it. Always killing it. No one's always killing it, bro. Fuck me. It's not real. We're since when? Anyway, the fake conversations tire me. And that's why I want to bring you this space. Because we're going to have the realest, most honest conversations that are probably going to get me fucking cancelled. And I don't give a fuck. Cancel me. Care. I'm not here to appease the masses or anyone. I'm here to be me. I'm here to build a community. I'm here to have good conversations with people, and I'm pointing at the fucking other chair with no one in it. But anyway, there will be someone in it. And I'm here to have conversations with cool people, like my invisible friend. And that's what I want. I want to build a fucking community of just real, like-minded, authentic, loving, weird, quirky, freaky fucking individuals. So, I'm going to wrap it up there. Nice and short. It was a mixture of fucking everything. And I look forward to the journey together. Big love.